welcome back to Side Character Quest. I'm your side character guest once again, Eli, and with you, as most of the time, is your host.
I didn't have anything planned.
That was the biggest hype up for nothing. Do you want to try again?
No, I am perfectly... I, for some reason, was not anticipating this show starting this fast, even though we've been talking for like 10 minutes prior to this point.
This is an efficient go.
This is an efficient go. We are efficient, guys. We are professional.
Wait, what's your name? Because you haven't said your name yet, Mr. Professional.
My name is... I was about to say the whole thing, huh? My name is Ty, and I am the DM / host / gay. I was gonna say lore master, but like that's kind of weird considering the name of the character you're playing.
Yeah, that would be weird. I think I'm the lore master.
I think we're both kind of the lore master in some ways.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, listener, you're the lore master.
But in a much more real sense, I'm the lore master.
Yeah, and in an equally real but different sense, I'm the lore master in two senses. Because I am the master of lore of the character in the sense that I'm a dungeon master. Listen, I think that this has gone on long enough.
We were doing so well at being efficient, and look where we are now.
Do you want to like roll this back and start from the beginning?
Nope, we're here now. This is the game. This is the show.
All right, this is the show. So, where we last left off, you had entered into the Derma Lodge to pay your respects with Fish to his grandmother, who was your sort of mentor when you were a younger man. Oh,
and listener, if hearing about the Derma Lodge gave you nightmares, don't worry. It's also given me nightmares.
Has it really given you nightmares? That would make me so happy.
Ty, it's awful. Could you imagine going into a room and just like all these dead people are just stuffed standing? Like they're not even like laying in casks. That's awful.
They have their tools, they have their weapons, they have they're giving stump speeches. Like they're doing whatever they did in life.
I'm trying to think how much trouble I want to get Laura into, because Eli would burn this place to the ground. And I'm not an arsonist. I mean, Lore's not an arsonist, but I mean, he has fire magic.
What would be your reasoning here as Lore?
That this is horrific. It probably wouldn't be the same because he would have grown up with it and probably be a little less creeped out by it.
I think that it's fair to say that most people are probably at least pretty creeped out by this, because the fact that in like real life in America, people are creeped out by like graveyards where the people are underground.
Yep.
So I think it's fair to say that like you would probably be creeped out by this, but it would be kind of a stretch to say that you would destroy it.
Burn it to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
All right. Also, we fought some elemental wolves infected with that elemental corruption. Yeah. Well, we didn't fight them. I turned into a spider and ran away.
Turned your tail and ran.
Turned my thorax.
Turned your thorax. I wasn't gonna try.
Yeah, something like that. Spinneret. That's on the butt.
Yeah. You know.
Okay, let's play Dungeons and Dragons.
Before we actually started recording, we had commented about how efficient we were being and how professional we had started. What happened?
Ty, I have social anxiety. And it's real bad when there's a microphone around, like a microphone, a cell phone, just calling the doctor or anyone else you have to call. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm calling the world.
Or at least...
Or Jeff, at least.
I don't know, like 50 people? Something like that? I don't know how many people listen. You want to get into the game?
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Do we just want to cut right in?
We'll cut right in. So you are standing in this fairly dark space. Durham, the caretaker of Derma Lodge has, walked away. His lantern is sort of bobbing off in the distance between the rows of people. And Fish is standing next to you and is just sort of looking kind of, I don't know, but he's looking at his grandmother, the former Peak and your former mentor. What do you do in this moment?
Okay, I look at Lore nope. Eli looks at Lore from above, and then I go into Lore and I manifest my will into him, and then Lore looks at Fish and says, "Hey man, I know she's your gram and everything, but you mind if I just get a moment here?"
Yeah, I understand. When I first came here, I needed some time by myself too. And he grabs your shoulder, just kind of squeezes it for a moment, and turns and walks down farther back into the lodge.
Okay, like no need to make it weird or anything. And then Laura walks up to describe the pose that Graham's in.
What is tell me one of your earliest memories of her.
I think the earliest memory with her would be me and Fish just playing games, like just as children, kind of running around and playing things just like kids do. And then she was probably like at Fish's parents' place and probably brought like toys or some candy or something and would tell stories. I think she would tell stories a lot. And maybe as we got older, Fish was like, oh, here's my grandmother with her stories, and probably didn't listen quite as much, but Lore was always into these stories.
So you are looking at her, and she is sort of positioned, not looking directly into the pathway where you're standing, but more of looking over to the side where there is a diorama that is not taxidermed. It is more artistic representation of various small animals, and she is positioned in a way where she looks like she is sort of leaning over and handing one of them some seeds with one of her hands, while also sort of looking out upon them and speaking. And it really evokes a picture in your mind. It really evokes that memory of her telling you stories as she is telling stories to these animals around her.
Are these seeds like real seeds, or are they just kind of like artistic representation of seeds?
I would say I'll say that there's like a couple real seeds in there. Like she has like a palm full of maybe I don't know, 20 seeds in her hand, just like a set of them.
Okay, I think Lore looks around. Is there anyone kind of looking his way, or
no?
Okay.
Darum is like well off a ways, taking care of some of the older people, and Fish has just given you a lot of space.
Okay. Lore kind of looks around sheepishly, and he takes his pack and kind of drops it in front of her, and he starts rummaging through, and he looks at her and says, "Hey, Graham. Sorry I wasn't here, but I made it out just like we always talked about, and you were right. It was pretty great out there. Met some people. Most of them were garbage, not gonna lie, but there were one or two okay ones, and anyways, I made this." And I reach into my bag and I pull out a little carved boar that I've carved up and kind of put it sort of among the little fake animals, and then I look at the seeds in her hand, and I use druid craft to just make like one of them kind of open up,
As you do that, it sprouts out, and a vine grows out that just very gently wraps around her arm, and sprouts some three-leaved stems, I guess, and a single flower that is sort of a mix of pink and purple sprouts out and into just many petals that sort of give like a vague spiral up.
Well, I kind of told you I wasn't gonna come back here, but old Fish, I guess, can't quite get the job done that he needs to. But don't worry, he's getting there. He's getting there. I know you were worried. He's gonna get there. He's got me teaching him, which probably would have been better if he had paid more attention to you. But here we are. He'll get there. I'll make sure. You know, Mount Rena doesn't have much going for it. It needs its peak. It's gonna be hard living up to you, though. But I got a nice little patch. I don't really know what happens after this part of the journey, but if you get a chance to look out over things, feel free to check it out. It's pretty chill. We have a raccoon problem, and not to say that there's a lot of them or too many, but there's just one who just will not cooperate, but he's all right. He's gonna get there too. But yeah, I guess if you could send some sort of sign or something about what to do about the weird weather situation around here, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'm gonna do my best to fix it without burning everything to the ground, and also get your grandson to figure his shit out too. But don't know how to end this. I guess catch you later, Graham. You keep being dead. Honestly, there's a lot of weird shit happening these days. It'd be real weird if you weren't dead anymore. But I miss you. Don't. If you do come back from the dead, don't tell Fish about this. All right, bye. And then he starts speaking louder. Yeah, and I'll take care of your good for nothing grandson. And he kind of starts walking back, turning to walk back.
Nice.
I grab my pack and kind of march over to Fish and say, "All right, Fish, this place gives me the creeps. Let's get the hell out of here."
You hear a loud creak, and then the wind picks up. You hear the sound of like wind rushing through that main doorway into Derma Lodge. You feel a draft of cold air sweep through the building and past you. And you hear a pair of feet walking in your direction. And after maybe, 5 seconds, the feet pick up in speed and are running towards you. What do you do?
Okay, feet rushing towards me. Do I see anyone at the moment, or?
You see a dwarven figure running towards you. Fairly small, even for a dwarf. Dwarves are medium-sized creatures in D&D terms, so they're not like tiny.
They're at the lower end of the human spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. So this figure, you see them running towards you. Uncle Fish! Oh man, I knew you'd be here! Oh my gosh! And a figure runs straight past you, just completely ignores your presence, and runs up to Fish, who has started like walking in your direction and has picked up speed a little bit as this figure approaches them. And as they meet, Fish picks this person up from under their shoulders and lifts them up in the air and says, "Oh my goodness, how you've gotten big, Uncle Fish! You know for a fact I have not. It hasn't been that long. Come on, Uncle Fish, put me down." And he laughs and sets her down. Man, Fish, Did you get me what I asked for? Did you give me what I asked for? Well, let me take a quick look for that. And he starts rummaging around in his pack, and he pulls out a large like buck antler, and he hands it. I guess large, probably not super huge because otherwise you would have noticed it at some point. But big enough. And he passes it to her, and you recognize it as one that would have like just fallen off of a deer during like rutting. Oh, Fish, this is perfect. I knew it. I knew I could trust you to do this. Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much. And she hugs him and says, I heard some ruffling feathers, and I heard them leading me to go visit Miss Gull up here. And Mama said that I was dreaming, but Mama, she doesn't know anything. So I knew that it was her telling me that I needed to be up here right now. And look, you're right here. You are right here, right with Mrs. Gull. That's great. Thank you, Uncle Fish.
Do I recognize this person?
You do not recognize this person.
All right, so it's not one of Fish's regular drug addicts that he sells to, because that's what I thought. When you said, "Did you give me what I asked for?" I was like,
"Did you give me what I asked for?"
Here's 2 pounds of pure, uncut Colombian cocaine.
No, it is not. It is not that. You do not recognize this person. They're actually like they are young enough that like it would be kind of irresponsible for him to be giving them drugs.
Hey, Ty. Hey, Ty. It's probably irresponsible to give most people drugs.
That's fair. That is very fair. In a lot of situations, most situations even. Most situations.
Depending on the drug. Hey, I don't judge. So Laura walks up to Fish and is like, who's the kid, Fish?
He looks from her to you and is smiling, but then as he looks for a moment longer in his face, at your face, his face falls. Just the smile falls off his face. I don't know. Well, Uncle Fish, who's your friend here? Well, this is kind of. This is your. Well, this is your brother.
Lore is kind of stunned, and he just kind of says, Acorn?
No one calls me that. Uncle Fish, and then she looks back at you and she says, "Why do you smell like that?"
Well, you see, kid. And suddenly he's faced with the prospect of being a bad older brother. And he's like, I live in the forest. This is what people who live in the forest smell like.
Uncle Fish doesn't live in... Uncle Fish is a druid. He doesn't smell like that.
Well, Uncle Fish lives on a mountain, not in the forest. Anyways, I don't remember you having such a smart mouth.
True. Well, I mean, I don't remember you at all.
Okay, so how old was...
She was like 3 when you left.
Okay, yeah.
So she's probably around 13 right now.
Okay, and I say, well, do you remember this? And I hold up one hand flat with all my fingers parallel. Oh, no! And then I hold up my other finger, my other hand, so that it appears that my left index finger is wrapped around my right thumb. And then I pull, and by God, Ty, it looks like I've torn my thumb off. And Laura's like, oh, my thumb. Oh no. Oh, my thumb. And then he kind of puts it back and he's like, I fixed it. I fixed it, Acorn. I fixed it.
Thanks for the Thanks for the antler, Uncle Fish. And she turns and walks away.
Wait, no! That was... Oh, it always did scare you as a kid. And he kind of just scratches the back of his head, and he's like, wait, Core, Fish got something else for you. And then
I did?
I reach into my pocket, and I shove...
Oh, yeah, I did.
I shove something into his hand real quick.
Yeah, Core, come, and he starts, sort of jogs up to catch up to her, and he says, I got you, this, and he reaches in and grabs, what did you stuff in his pocket?
So it is we talked about this, about whether or not I would be able to make this, and we decided that after just spending time in the forest, it is a druidic focus.
Okay.
It is a totem carved out of just some wood, and it's in the shape of an acorn, and it's like around a hemp necklace.
Yeah, I got you this, I was thinking about having him roll to see if he recognized what it was, but he's not that bad of a druid. Yeah, I got you this, totem. I figured,
and Lord just shows, yep, that's Uncle Fish, he's pretty great. And like, just like, yep, great uncle, right there, great family friend.
You see Acorn or Core, sort of like peek around Fish and like look over towards you as you're saying that, and then you see her like grab the totem and then give Fish a quick hug, and then she just, thanks Uncle Fish, and turns and runs off.
A hug he totally earned all on his own with no help from a friend or loved one. Yep, great day I'm having here.
Yeah. So then the door slams and you guys are alone with the sound of Durham shuffling around from person to person.
Durham, can't you be a little bit more quiet? We're having a family moment.
Well, it certainly sounds like you did a great job.
Fight me, Durham. Fight me right now.
Oh, I wouldn't want to take away from your training opportunities. Wouldn't you prefer for your protege to fight me?
I use Druidcraft,
I'd ask you if you want to teach me a lesson, but clearly you're not that great at that.
I use Druidcraft to fill the space around Durham with the stench of a skunk. Suck on that, Durham.
I will not forget this.
Good.
Does this wash out? Fish, does this wash out? Fish, I swear to God. Honestly, we haven't talked much about that yet. I think so.
I light my pipe and I just and I'm just like exhaling smoke all over. I'm smoking in the Dermalodge. Fish, we should really go. I think I've burnt some bridges with Durham.
Yeah. Yes, you have.
We them boys.
Get out of here.
Make me. And then I start shuffling quickly towards the exit.
You see him like he is like puts down the lantern and then like picks it back up again and puts it down, like he's trying to decide whether he wants to do anything.
As I'm walking away, I just quickly turn and like lunge towards him, like, you don't want none.
He don't want none.
He don't want none.
He don't want none. Oh man. So you guys head out of the out of the Derma Lodge, having paid your respects and your disrespects. What are you gonna do now? It is bitterly cold out on the side of this mountain. Are you guys gonna go straight to business, or are you going to do anything else before?
Well, damn, we were joking earlier about, like, he could go to a bar. But now I feel like after that shit, he might need to go to a bar.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Question. While you are outside in the wilderness, I would like you to name 2 animals that you might see in the mountains. Preferably the mountains of like Georgia or South Carolina, Appalachia, that kind of thing.
Black bear. I keep thinking raccoon. I don't know why I got raccoons on the brain.
You do.
We'll say black bear and human, the most dangerous animal. Black bear and a let's see, it's cold, so probably nothing reptilian. Squirrels.
Squirrels? Okay.
Squirrels.
So you are stepping out into the cold. Acorn is nowhere to be seen, and Fish looks over at you and says, "Before we get started, I'm guessing you want to swing by the bear and squirrels, huh?"
They got anything stronger than the last time I was in?
Nope, but they have more of it.
Yep, that'll do.
Jump cut. You guys are deep within Mount Rena. The walls are once again like carved stone. They don't. It looks not super. It's not super. What's the word I want? Like, it's not super well crafted, but it's super well worn. So like it's very like smooth. There's lots of like the chairs are the stools that you guys are sitting on at the bar are both made of wood, and there is a bartender across from you who has been serving you 2 or 3 drinks at this point. You guys are a couple of steins in. What are you doing at this moment?
You know, Fish, I think it might have been a decade since I've sat in a chair.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was right, considering you've fallen off twice already.
Listen, they're very high up. I don't know why they make chairs so high. Why do you have to be so high up off the ground?
I think the person they hired usually made stuff for like humans. I don't know why they did that. It was a bad business decision.
Lore drains his glass and is like, ha, hired, because it's high off the ground. Fish, I'm very sad.
Fish chortles a little bit, not quite as much as I do, because no one laughs as much as I do. I edit out so much of it. He claps you on the back. He says that, well, as long as I still have a few coins left by the end of this, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, that's good. And again, I'm sorry, I just haven't made any money since ever.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I thought we were gonna go 50-50 on this. When we walked in, it was dumb. It was dumb. It was not intelligent of me at all.
He Lore reaches into his pocket and he's like, I thought that they still used this currency, and he pulls out like a very old like set of coins that like they might have been worth 5 gold at some point, but are not worth that much money now.
No, they are not.
Inflation, I guess. It's hit us all.
Inflation. Yeah.
Actually, it hasn't hit me at all. I live in the woods.
Hence the situation we find ourselves in now. That might make an okay tip, maybe. The bartender looks at you guys and shakes their head. Yeah. I imagine that after he said that, Lore like rotates to the bartender and is like, does this do something for you? Nah. No, there we go. Oh, boy.
Well, okay, so I guess while we're here, we can try to work on some business.
Yeah.
So, the storm's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
And the weather, let me just check real quick. I use my Druidcraft again to check what the weather's supposed to be like.
How long? When did you guys arrive? I had you guys arrive around noon.
Something like that.
Okay, and so
It's been long enough for us to visit the Dermalodge.
lodge and then come down here.
Yeah.
So I would say it's probably like we're in happy hour territory. So yeah, you cast this, and we had it happen with like smoke last time.
I think so. That's right.
And some symbols form in the air that you recognize to say that it should be a pretty bright day at this point. The clouds and the storm should have cleared by this point, more or less. Like I've said before, the storm never entirely disappears at Mount Rena.
Yeah, so unless I've become a much shittier druid than I was 5 minutes ago, something's not right. And you got your fucking corrupted animals that you've brought to my forest, which again, pretty upset about that, but let bygones become bygones.
I mean, as far as we can tell, it's not contagious.
Yeah, so how much do you know about the animals corrupted by elements?
It's not. Okay, fair point.
Yeah, I'm just saying, gotta know your shit, fish. Druid rule number 5,792. What number were we on? Let's say it's that one. Gotta know your shit.
You gotta know your shit, fish.
Gotta know your shit.
Oh man, yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you.
So, what's the plan? So we're up here. We're just trying to go into the heart of the storm. Is that where we think we need to be, or?
Pretty much. So on top of, I don't know if Grandma Gull ever took you up there, but you know the temple on the top of Mount Rena, on the peak, for lack of a better word. That is sort of the focal point of the storm. All right, and that spot. I don't know what's going wrong with it, but if there's something wrong with the storm, then I assume that something at the center of the storm is the cause. So,
Now, Fish, let me ask you a question. And this could be a dumb question, but considering what I've seen you bring to the table so far, I don't think it's that too far off. Have you checked the temple?
is that in character?
It was both.
Okay.
Have you checked the temple since the storm got worse?
I have tried, but
Go ahead and define try for me.
to get into the temple, you have to pay homage to Brega. You have to do service to nature. And I could not hear what they were asking when I tried to enter. So I couldn't go in.
As I imagine that as Fish is saying that, Lore listened for half a second, then looked at the bartender and just like put up 2 fingers.
Okay, two new drinks come back.
Lore takes it and just gulps it down, slams it on the bar, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty much piss water, but this should get me ready to do this. Come on, Fish, finish your drink. Let's go get in this temple.
Roll me a quick Constitution check, just to see. It's gonna be well, I was gonna say it's gonna be a low check because it is like weak beer, but you guys have canonically had a lot.
Question: does this count as poison? I say that because dwarves have advantage on saving throws against poison.
I'm not gonna give you advantage.
Okay.
I will make it a little bit easier on you than it would otherwise be.
Got a 15.
You have a nice buzz going.
Right.
You are a little loopy, but you are not like, you're probably more talkative than you would be otherwise. Your inhibitions are a little bit lower, but you aren't awful right now.
Okay, so how's Lore doing though?
With that, we're gonna take a quick break. right, I'm gonna see you in a bit.
I'm really proud of that one.
We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go use the
Hey everyone, it looks like I'm back first. I want to give you all a little peek into some of my character decisions that I've made. So, Ty asked me 2 people that Lore would want to see on Mount Rena. And I told him, well, I told you that I have made a character who didn't want anything to do with Mount Rena, so that's a pretty hard decision. But I settled on he would want to pay his respects to Graham, and he would want to see his younger sister, who he loved very much and was probably the only person they cared about on Mount Rena still. And how did Ty treat me? He made it so that Lore's little sister, Core, who Lore always called Acorn, didn't remember him. And so now me, as a player, knowing that these are 2 fictional characters, am very sad and just tearing up a little bit, honestly. So yeah, I guess this week's episode brought to you by existential dread and fear of loneliness. Don't think it. Best not to think about it.
Hello.
Ty, I'm still chuckling over that last joke.
Making me mad.
I was real proud of that. Let's get back in here. So we're heading to the temple.
You were headed to the temple. So you guys have headed back up the mountain. You guys have gone past Derma Lodge and are going off the beaten path. So this temple is not a thing that people visit on a daily basis. It's a bit more of a hike. There's not an easy path up it because there's a sense of like.
So you're in the nature.
If you have gone there, you have gone there to commune with nature. You're in the nature. There is not one way. And with that in mind, when you are going up, do you go? There's like a few different ways that you could go up. Like you could try to go straight up a cliff face, just try to climb your way up. That's a little bit more direct. There's a longer route of sort of crisscrossing, back and forth, zigzagging trails. And there's various other things like that. How do you approach getting up to the temple? And keep in mind, the weather is fucking miserable right now. Like, as you get closer to the temple, the wind is just hitting you harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, and it's like cold, right?
Yeah, it's fucking freezing.
All right, give me a second. I'm on it. I was really hoping to find something good.
Looking for a spell?
Looking for a beast. I don't know if I want to. I guess I'll just. Yeah, I only have one more beast shape for this day, and I don't trust that you're not about to like hit me with something. So, I guess.
Damn it, Eli! I was really hoping you didn't remember you only had one left.
Yeah, motherfucker. I guess I'm gonna use. Okay, I'm gonna use Produce Flame to keep us warm as we go up.
Very smart.
Yeah, I was gonna use, because I've already used Enhance ability once, but that has long since worn off. So I'm gonna use Produce Flame to keep us warm. And then you said that the idea was we either go up a cliff face or kind of like go through a winding path.
Yeah, and if you have like another idea of a way that you would like to try going, you can let me know and I'll let you know if it exists. But those are the 2 obvious paths. The cliff face is much shorter.
Yeah. Is it winding because it's like going up and like cross back up a mountain, or is it like winding through a forest?
More the former.
Okay. Let me see what I can do here.
By the way, while you guys are making your way, Fish is also trying out Produce Flame, and he's done this spell before. I don't believe I showed him struggling too much with it before. It takes him a few tries to get it to stick in the cold and the wind, but eventually he does, and it's holding strong.
Question: how high up is the cliff face?
It is like a series of a few different cliff faces. I would say not more than like it's not going to be more than like 7 stories.
Okay, so
It's
that's
not going to be more than 70 feet because like I cannot imagine you choosing to like climb that much.
So my plan was to use wind wall to block the wind as we climb up the wall, but the wind wall is only 15 feet high, so that's not happening.
Oh no!
I guess I'm
no,
taking.
This is a pretty significant. I would say let's say it's a 40-foot thing because with the idea being that it would be very difficult to climb in.
Yeah. Fuck it, man. I guess I'm just gonna go the long way with my flame out to try to keep me warm and give me some light.
Okay.
Shit. I'm trying to think. You know what? I guess I am just gonna.
This is really more just like flavor.
Yeah, I'm going the long way. Sorry, Ty. I thought you were gonna try to, like, fuck me one way or another.
No, I mean I admit that was originally like the plan, like when I originally wrote this narration, but no, man, I've got it's been a long enough episode. I don't need to fuck you over.
Listen, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go the long way. So I'm going the long way.
Okay, cool. So you and Fish make your way up, sort of the path that sort of zigzags its way up the mountain face. It eventually veers off a ways, and you can feel that it's directing you away from the peak of the mountain, and it's clearly taking you away that takes a lot longer, but is significantly safer than trying to climb up a cliff face in a storm. So eventually you are directed back, and as you exit a crag in this zigzaggy path, a zigzag crag, crag.
Zigcrag. I was just about to say that, Ty.
Crag.
Okay. Too far.
You see a large domed building ahead of you, and it is mostly made of stone, like the rest of the mountain, and it seems like it's sort of formed out of the mountain itself. You see flecks of like this yellowish metal just sort of sprinkled into the stone itself. And you also see bright green crisscrossing over the stone.
Is that normal? So I, real quick, before you answer that, I do think that Lore would have come here with Gram.
Okay.
And it might not be something that Fish would know about.
I imagine that he would not. Yeah.
Like, I imagine that maybe Gram was supposed to bring Fish several times, and probably that was it. And then, but she was probably like, nah, this kid knows what up. And I imagine I've made a trip or two up here with Gram.
Cool. Roll me a perception check, or sorry, history check.
Oh, I did not think this would come in handy. So I get advantage on. I get double proficiency to history checks relating to the origin of stonework.
I would say that could count.
Hell yeah!
Wait, did you say double advantage?
Double proficiency.
Oh, double proficiency. Okay, yeah, that would count.
So I don't normally have proficiency to history, but I will add double proficiency.
Okay. Roll me that, and then afterwards roll me a perception check.
Okay, so I have a 21 history check, and perception. I got a 13 perception.
Good enough. Okay. As you round this corner and see this building, a memory strikes you of even then an old dwarf, an old woman holding your hand as you step out of this same crag as a young boy of maybe 11 or 12. She is leading you up this path through a small grove, I guess you might say, of cast iron trees with these colorful bottles stuck on the branches, and you weave your way through that little grove up to this building that's covered in vines. And as you approach the building itself, the wind calms around you, and despite the fact that you know you were just in the middle of the center of a storm, it feels like it is a bright, warm summer day. And you circle around the building and see see Gran, I think is what you were calling her.
Gram.
Gram. You see Gram, the Peak, or as Fish knows her, Grandma Gull. She takes your hand and says, oh fuck, I wasn't thinking about doing a voice for her.
Gotta come up with those Gram voices, dog.
Well, wait, no, okay, let me try this out.
Yep, that's Alberta.
How is this? It's
a mix of Alberta and work. I like it a lot.
That's what I was going for.
Nailed it.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Well, my little child, Lore. Or, what would she call you? What would be like a little thing to describe like a...
Squirrel.
No, I've got a better one. Well, my little tortoise. It's taken a while, but I knew I could build up your courage to come up here. I promise it won't be too scary. And she sits down at the front of this building, facing away from you, and towards a small, maybe yay tall, about a foot tall gem that is set into the wall and just covered in these vines that have 3 leaves on them and little purple flowers. As she sits there, a series of runes start glowing in a circle around her, and the stone itself starts glowing. And you remember in this time just sitting there for, it's hard to say, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15, maybe an hour. It felt like forever to you as a child, but you were enraptured in what she was doing. And you noticed that as she was sitting there, the leaves were growing more, the vines were shifting on the walls in front of her. You could see day and night shifting in the air around you. You could feel different breezes. You could feel salt air. You could feel the smell of honeysuckle. You could smell all sorts of different things from places you've never been. And eventually, the runes around her, in the circle around her, stops glowing. The gem in the wall fades, and she turns to look at you, and she holds out a hand and says, Rega has a toll for us all, and we must all take part to make sure that those around us are taken care of. And the memory ends.
Jesus time. That was beautiful. Alright, so
you are back in that crag, stepping out of that crag.
the Zig Crag.
Mm-hmm.
So does the temple look like it did then?
Mostly. As you approach, I assume you're walking forward, unless like there's nothing like horrendous that would scare you away.
Yeah.
But as you approach, roll me a perception check to see how much you pick up on.
Oh, I had rolled that.
Oh, what did you do? You're 13?
Yeah.
13, yeah. Okay. I'm very glad you didn't get like a critical fail. Don't know why I even risked it. So as you are approaching, you're walking up this path. The wind is much harsher, but once again, as you're getting closer, it is dipping off a little bit. The biggest thing that you notice, the biggest difference that you notice is that these cast iron trees around you with those glass bottles, you just see shards of glass on the ground.
Oh no, Ty. Is it Haints? Ty, is it Haints?
Roll me a religion check.
I mean, I can tell you what a Haint is.
But can Lore? I'll give you advantage on this.
Haints are actually deep in like my mom's side of the family's history.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I got a 23 Haint check.
Nice.
23 Haint check.
So you know that there is a actually, you tell me. You're deep. They're deep in your family history. What do you know about them?
So Haints are wicked spirits that they're generally involved in religions like voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of originate in sort of that area, or it's really big, especially in New Orleans. They cannot cross over water. So in the south, such as the neck of the woods that I'm from, in southeast Georgia, you'll see a lot of people with their, also in New Orleans, you'll see a lot of people with their porches painted blue, the roofs of their porches, because Haints are real dumb. They can't cross water, so anything blue is water. Actually, my apartment porch, the porch is painted blue, and my family got super stoked about that.
Nice.
However, a common thing that you'll also see in the area is bottle trees, which are trees with empty glass bottles hanging from them. And generally, those bottles are supposed to be blue because they will capture haints and keep them there. But the idea is if you dump out the water that eventually accumulates in those bottles on your lawn, it's not a good thing. So you dump that shit out on someone's lawn that you don't like.
Nice.
Also in New Orleans, a lot of family tombs and stuff are painted blue for the same reason, to keep the haints away.
That's all stuff that is baked into Dwarven religion.
Gosh, hell yeah. I just got way more invested in Dwarven religion. I'm here for it. The Lord looks around, he's like, and he pulls out his pipe and he lights it, and he's... Yep, just what I feared. You got a haint problem.
Yeah.
Fish, you know what haints are, right?
Definitely.
Fish, hey, insight check. Does he know what haints are?
Give me an insight check. He's gonna do a bluff.
I only got a 12.
He got a non-natural 1. He
Oh no.
He very clearly, you kind of get the impression that he has heard the word before and is like aware that they are a thing, but isn't fully aware of the implications here.
Lore hands Fish his pipe and is like, listen man, you gotta know your shit.
He's a little drunk and you seem very serious. He takes a pull.
So Lore begins to explain what I just talked about.
Nice.
Minus the United States geographical stuff about what haints are. And I'm like, as you see here, the bottle trees are broken. So what does that imply to you?
Haints.
It's the haints.
Not great.
It's not great. So you probably got haints.
Okay.
So, all right, figured it out. I'm going home, dude.
You start walking away. He grabs you by the shoulder, like, listen. We're almost there. We're finishing this.
Hey Ty, I know all of that about haints. I don't know how you get rid of haints. I know how you stop haints from getting in. I don't know how you get them out once they are in.
Maybe it's a coincidence.
No, it's the haint, Ty. Hey Ty, I'm not religious. I do believe in haints.
Oh, very good. So do you continue or do you leave?
I was like, okay, well, so you...
I wasn't gonna stop Mallory when she decided that she wanted to just when she was almost about to just fucking bail on the entire quest. So, like, I'm not gonna stop
Ty,
you.
You put haints in there. You hit me where I live, where I fucking grew up. We're getting into this. Let's do it. Lore whips out his tarot cards and starts shuffling. No. So Lore turns and he's like, well, guess it's time to see what this price is that Gram was always talking about. And then he goes up to sort of where Gram sat to open up the temple.
Yeah.
And did Fish actually use that pipe?
He took like a very small inhale.
I look and say, Fish, take a bigger hit of that. Things are gonna get weird. And
He does not.
Hey, respect. I respect that choice, no peer pressure here. And then Laura looks directly into the camera and says, hey kids, peer pressure isn't cool. If you smoke, that's fine. If your friends don't make them. That's pretty fucked up. And then Lore sits in the... So he kind of takes the same stance that Grandma took when she took him here, and just kind of like breathes deeply and tries to like tap into that same nature magic, and he kind of touches his tortoise totem and just says, "Come on."
You are staring into the gem that is resting in the wall in front of you, and the vines, which have started to, you realize as you were like setting up, were not quite as lush as they were when you in your memories. These vines just sort of immediately start to freshen, start to get greener. Some of the flowers on them bloom, and the gem starts to glow more brightly. As you continue to stare at it, the faint blue light from this gem starts to expand and slowly covers all of your vision. Before long, you no longer feel the presence that you had a moment ago. You don't hear the wind that had been surrounding the mountain. You don't feel the relatively calm air that's next to the temple. You feel a salty breeze beat against you. You smell the scent of pine sap. You hear the pitter patter of pitter patter. You hear the sound of footsteps, and as your heart beats fast in your chest in the darkness, you feel the water around you alive with fish and with frogs and snakes. You hear the sound of insects buzzing above you. You feel the wind whipping around you in the air. And you feel, Brega, you are a part of it all for a moment. You hear something cry out for you, and everything else cuts away, and your focus dives in on that cry. And that's where we're going to stop for today.
Oh, man. All right. Man, that was a good time.
Thank you.
That was good. 10 out of 10. Oh shit, we gotta sign off.
Yeah,
I literally almost just hit stop recording.
All right.
Because we're professionals.
All right.
God damn it.
Oh, God.
Actually, you know what? We're not professionals yet, but hey, listeners, if y'all start shooting some money our way, we would be, technically.
That's technically true. I added a little tip jar on the thing. I haven't got any money in it, but we can use that to go towards keeping the hosting up, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Wait, where is that on the website? Because I could kick in for something like that.
It's on the website. It's also on the show notes for the most recent episodes. So yeah, if you wanna tip jar, that's totally great. We'd appreciate it. Anyway, so you feeling good about this episode?
I am. Ty, I'm actually really excited that you put in Haints. I was actually talking about Haints with Mallory earlier today because I was driving, doing work for my employer.
Yeah.
And I passed by a store called Haint Blue. Oh
yeah, Haint Blue. That's the name of the paint that they use. The Haint paint.
Yep, it's a very specific paint, and I'm not lying. When I moved into the apartment we're in currently, I went into the porch, and the roof of the porch is Haint Blue.
It's a beautiful shade of blue.
It's a beautiful shade of blue.
Yeah.
And it's got my great grandmother on my mother's side. I believe it was my mother's side. Nanny is how I knew her. She lived her whole life wearing a gree around her neck.
Yeah.
Specifically to help keep away Haints. Are you looking up what a gree is?
I am looking up what a gree is.
It is a leather pouch filled with bones and feathers and other like totems and such to help. Like it's something. If you go into any voodoo shop in New Orleans, you can buy like leather pouches, and there's all this different stuff that you can fill your gree with. and you never let anyone else touch it because it is your gree-gree. It can't be like a totem, but yeah, my great-grandmother's was like that. I come from a strange family.
Clearly. Oh man. All right. Well, I think we're gonna call it now. So do you have anything you wanna say?
This has been Eli.
This has been Ty.
And we're pitter-pattering away. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I still don't like that.
We haven't done it all during all of Lore's arc because specifically I remember you said that you didn't like it.
Thanks to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Find them at thejoydrops.com. You can find us at sidecharacterquest.com, at SCQ Podcast on Twitter, or by email at sidecharacterquest@gmail.com.
This is gonna get cut and put in the bloopers.
Hello, I am recording my own voice right now. Are you recording your own voice right now?
I'm not. I'm recording someone else's voice right now.
It's kind of embarrassing that that's the most efficient and professional I think we've ever been as far as like starting one of these recordings.
We fucking nailed it.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, guys. By guys, I mean you and me, because we haven't started. This is not show yet.
Yeah. This is Jameson Caskmates, where it's Jameson that was distilled in stout barrels, and it kind of just tastes like Jameson.
That's some very good Foley work you had right there, where you were like chinking it around in the glass.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Hey, if we ever need to take a drink break in game, I can have that. Clink, clink, clink.
I mean, you can always go to a bar. I didn't plan for that, but like you could.
Do you want me to just sit here and start spouting all the lore that I've learned through my re-listen so that everyone... I'm just kidding.
You can bring that up during the show, however you want.
I think Lore wants to go to the gate.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Okay, this is Lore. Yeah, okay. It's kind of like a what's that wrestler guy? Randy Jackson? Randy Sav.
You got it. You got this.
Whatever. His name's Lore. Okay. Don't know how to end this.
Okay. I have a way that I want to end that, but oh wait, were you gonna say that? Did you want to say something real quick? Sorry.
Yeah. That was in character.
Oh, okay. Cool. If you finish, keep that going.
Anyways, I don't normally know how to end these sorts of things, so
So one thing I want to say real quick is that I was very glad when you didn't lose that earlier part of this. This is not going to go in the main show. It might go in the bloopers, maybe. Because I was just about to say when you were wrapping things up that I felt like that was one of the most like real and like emotional feeling scenes in this show. And then you were like, so we might have lost everything. And I was like, no.
Well, Ty, I realized that so far the only thing that people have to think about Lore is this guy's a jackass and I hate him. But I want people to know, much like me, Lore does not like most people, but he does like some people. And like he's an asshole, but he's got a heart of gold.
I really liked what you told me earlier today about how when you're designing when you're coming up with characters for yourself, you try to take a particular aspect of your personality and make it and see what it would be like if that was the primary aspect of your personality. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, like so I'm playing this one character in another D&D podcast, or not podcast, D&D campaign, and I came into this campaign about halfway through or like in the middle, so I knew nothing. So I made my character, it's very much based off of like Vikings and Norse mythology, and I don't know much about that. So my character is a centaur that lives in the woods. So anytime I don't know about something, I can just explain, well, yeah, I just don't that, or like if I say something weird, like if I say, yeah, man, that's real rad, and they look at me weird, I'm like, oh, that's centaur slang. I just think it's, and like when I take one aspect of my personality and I make it big, then I know exactly how that character is going to react because I know what that side of my personality wants me to do in these situations.
Yeah, that's good. I really like that.
Yeah.
Well, this is your brother.
For half a second, I thought you were going to say, this is your father? And I was going to be like, whoa!
Character choice.
Character decision.
No.
And scene.
I heard recently, I don't know if this is true, but I heard recently that bear is the world's oldest known English euphemism. Because people were afraid that if you said bear, bears would come. Kind of like Voldemort. And so bear meant the brown one, like the origin of that word. So you'd be like, the brown one. I can't say what it truly is because no. Well, I don't know if that's actually true, but I like that idea, that story.
I am named after the Old Testament character Elijah. And my favorite story about Elijah is once he was climbing a mountain and some youths were making fun of him for being old, and he summoned a bear to eat them. There's some fucked up stuff in the Bible, y'all.
That's pretty messed up. That's pretty messed up.
So I'm assuming that it is possible to summon bears easily.
Yes. Bear and squirrels. Huh? I've destroyed you.
I knew that's why you were asking too, is the thing. Just the bear and squirrels sounds like
it sounds so bad.
It sounds like a euphemism for something.
For something.
Oh, you've kicked me in my bear and squirrels. Oh man.
It doesn't roll out the tongue at all. I tried squirrel and bear, but that also doesn't sound good.
Hey, Ty, you know what you can put in the bloopers? We are two funny guys. You know who'd be good at banishing evil spirits?
Roderick.
R.I.P.
He just kissed the ceiling. Eli did. It's kind of a weird way to describe that.
Yeah, that's not... Hold on. Hacking. Gotta do some deep web hacking to see if I can identify haints in the area. Yeah, so listener, some backstory about me and my family. I grew up in southeast Georgia, like way to the southeast. And haints are actually a really common part of the folklore of the area. My mom, in addition, grew up in Mobile, Alabama, with family who lived in the French Quarter of New Orleans. When I was in middle school, my parents took me to the French Quarter, which, by the way, don't do that. Don't take your middle school child down Bourbon Street. That's not good. My great-grandmother, on my mother's side, was known to wear a gree around her neck to keep away evil spirits. To give you an idea, haints, according to Wikipedia, okay, so It's an alternative spelling of haunt, which was historically used in African American vernacular to refer to a ghost, or in the hoodoo belief, a witch-like creature seeking to chase victims to their death by exhaustion. I just knew him as the Haints, and whenever anything bad happened, I would yell, "It's the Haints." I personally do not come from an African American descent. I am decidedly Caucasian, but my family, or my mom's family, grew up sort of within the Cajun regions of Louisiana, and thus I have that sort of background knowledge. Pretty interesting stuff. 10 out of 10. Do recommend painting your porch's Haint blue just because it's a beautiful color.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just giving the listener a background on Haints.
Nice. Pinecast, which is our host, and they handle the tip jar thing. They take a small, like, I don't know, like 30-cent fee or something like that when people donate to the tip jar. So Eli, if you're
give more than 30 cents.
Yes, but Eli, if you're gonna tip jar something, then you can just Venmo me.
Okay. That's
or
fair.
PayPal or whatever. I'm not sticking to brands. Venmo, if you pay me, then I'll stick to brands, and I'll only tell Eli to Venmo me.
Hey Venmo, fuck you. Pay me.
Hey Venmo. Hey Venmo, if you give me money, I won't say fuck you unless you want me to. In which case, I will.
Hey, I'm not getting paid either way. But Venmo's a great brand, actually.
I would pay you. Yeah, eventually. I would pay off.
I assume it'd be after you get paid.
Well, no. So this is how
I would hope it'd be after you get paid.
It would go hosting fees, microphone costs, some editing cost, and then you guys. Well,
no, it should go all that, then you.
Okay.
The person who's doing this every week.
That's fair.
And then us jackasses who come in for like 5 sessions and then leave.
Anyway.
Except for you, Mallory. You're not a jackass.
I don't know how much of this is actually going in the ending. Anyway. I'm sending you a picture of what Google Images tells me is a gree.
I don't know what that is.
It's not what you're describing.
From a video game.
Yeah,
I mean, like, it could be like a totem or something.
It does look like a totem. It's like a monkey spike.
That's from a video game.